and the greatest love the world has known. This is the love I give to you alone. More than the simple words I try to say, I only live to love you more each day. More than you'll ever know, my arms long to hold you, so my life will be in your keeping, waking, sleeping, laughing, weeping, longer than always is a long, long time, but far beyond forever, you'll be mine. I know I've never lived.
casa mia, quando apro le finestre, rivedo la città, annaffio il mio limone, poi dopo guardo giù e divento così triste, strade senza pietà, vita che toglie il fiato, ma dentro casa mia, a volte arriva il sole, qualche minuto e poi si nasconde bene, forse gioca con me, facciamo nascondino e mi troverà. Che vitalità, mi sento più leggera, che vitalità, divento un po' bambina, che vitalità, si scioglie ogni spina, che vitalità, saltello a piedi nudi, che vitalità, con tutto questo sole, che vitalità, ho voglia di giocare, che vitalità, la vita è puro amore e se arrivi tu ti riempio della mia vitalità. Per inventare e invento per non morire, ognuno ha una missione, appena finirà forse l'avrò capita, tutta la verità che è dietro la mia vita, e solo sento bene che il mondo sta così male, ma per un attimo non voglio più pensare, e se rinascerò sarà senza mutande, in libertà. Che vitalità, sono così serena, che vitalità, mi sento un po' cretina, che vitalità, vivo su un'altalena.
Blink.
Free.
Footsteps on the water.
Breathe.
Blank.
Pause.
Moments of silence. Pause.
Blank.
Breathe.
Drops in silence, fallen on the water.
Free.
Blink.
Oh, hi guys.
Hello!
We're live now.
Do like this, otherwise we get confused. Cool.
How's it going?
Hello. Good.
Good. Good to see both of you.
How are you?
I am well. Yes, I've sorted out all the technology. Everything's running, so, you know. But it's been a while since I've seen you guys, and I wish that we were doing this in person. Not to start off on a sad note.
A sentimental level.
Yeah, sentimental note for the beginning. Hi, everybody who's watching. Thanks for joining us. You know my usual thing. If the audio levels are weird, please tell me. so I can adjust them. And I see Ben Diamond already says second comment. Oh wait, it's first. As usual, Ben gets the first comment of the show, so thank you, Ben. I'm really happy to have Jacopo and Kerry here with me today, as you can see on the screen, who are an awesome duo, JKL duo. Do you guys want to tell the audience a little bit about yourselves, what you do, before we listen to some playing?
So yeah, we're the JKL duo. We play the flute and guitar, kind of.
Kind
So yeah, we've been doing some recitals around Glasgow mainly, but that got kind of killed, that plan, because of COVID. So since then we've been at home, we've been teaching a lot. And then we started our little series called Sweet Moments with the JKL duo. So yeah, that's
Cool.
us.
And you guys both study in Glasgow, right? Or you were studying in Glasgow, both of you?
Yeah,
Nice.
at the moment I'm finished, and so I'm just doing private lessons,
Cool.
and that's it.
And where did you guys meet?
In Glasgow.
Ah, cool. Nice.
So Jacopo came over from Rome to do an Erasmus year,
Cool.
and that was when I just finished my I was going into my gap year, so I just finished my studies at the conservatoire at the juniors.
Nice.
And then yeah, then we met each other then in Glasgow.
Awesome.
And that was almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, almost 5 years ago.
Wow, time flies. Crazy.
wow.
And an amazing duo was born. Wonderful. Frank Scott says, looking great, Jacopo. Agnes Chavette says, nice hair.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Agnes.
Thanks,
Hey,
Agnes.
Agnes.
Yes, and I'm sure that we're gonna get a few people from Carry On commenting in the comments, because I met you guys in Carry On de las Condes at Renee's festival, and we had a blast because it was kind of a cool year because there was you guys, there was me and Jessica, and then there was Daniela Bruce Bards and Riley playing duo stuff. So there was like 3 of us who were playing chamber music, which was really cool. I was really happy we weren't the only ones because I was like, we're gonna feel so alone if we're the only ones doing chamber music, you know. Yeah, but we're gonna listen to you guys play something now. We are going to listen to John Anderson, My Joe. Do you want to tell the audience a bit about this?
So John Anderson, My Joe, it is Robert Burns, for those that don't know, is one of Scotland's most famous poets. And things like Auld Lang Syne that, you know, everyone all over the world sings on New Year's, that was him that wrote that.
Robbie Burns.
My Love, Red Rose, Robbie Burns, exactly. So this is from his poetry. And John Anderson, My Joe, the story behind it, if I'm not mistaken, is about somebody talking to, I don't think it's a lover, I might be wrong, so if I'm wrong, people comment, but it's someone that's talking to a friend. And they're talking about like the love that they've had for them throughout the years. So yeah, it's a really beautiful,
Sweet.
piece.
If people have questions for the JKL duo, please put them in the chat because we would love to take as many questions from the audience as possible. As many difficult questions. Give them a hard time. That's really the point of this. But where did you guys record this?
In the ledger room in the RCS, so while I was doing because now I mean the academic year is finished, so while you're at the conservatory you can book the performance rooms,
Cool.
which are few. So there is the bigger one which is called the Stevenson room, and then there is the second one which is the ledger room, and you can book them, you can book the recording equipment,
Nice.
and then you can record yourself.
And you made the recordings?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you make great recordings, Jacopo. I've enjoyed your YouTube channel a lot.
I try to have fun with them, so
Yeah, I mean, recording is
Thank
fun, actually. I enjoy it when I'm not like stressed out about my playing, you know.
exactly.
Okay, so let's listen to this recording of Robbie Burns. Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice little tune. And Kerry, you were saying off camera that people are going to see your hair change color a lot during this episode.
We can talk about that.
I've had like an identity crisis with my hair for the past year or two. So it's been blonde for like my whole life.
Yeah.
And then just before we went to Carry On, so it was a year ago, I dyed it red, like pillar box red.
Yeah, I remember it being
I never told him. So, yeah, he just saw me one day and it was like, hello. And then, and yeah, there was a whole thing with that. I went to Italy, couldn't get red hair dye, so the blonde roots started coming through. Tried to dye it blonde again, and it ended up going all sorts of nuts colours. And then, yeah, so it went black at one point.
Wow.
Back to
Dark
blonde
brown.
again, so it's, yeah,
So you've been metamorphizing through your hair.
a little bit.
Nice. Awesome. Well, the question I normally ask all the classical guitarists who come on the show is, how do you define classical guitar? But that's not a very good question for you, Kerry. So I thought I would ask you two, how do you define yourselves? Like, what is your identity as a flute and guitar duo? How would you explain what you do to somebody who doesn't know like that much about classical music or classical guitar or flute? Like, how do you see what you do, and how do you explain it to the average person?
Shall we do it one at a time?
Maybe,
Yes,
yeah.
you go first.
You go first.
You go first, Kerry.
Because I got the barrier language, the barrier.
No, you don't.
Thank you.
Good
You
excuse.
did a
Kerry.
master's degree in the English language. It's fine. Okay, I would say that we are two people who work to express ourselves as honestly as we can through what we do.
Wow.
So I think the really cool thing with being a musician is that you get to show your emotions in more of a tangible way than what maybe non-musicians or all artists can have the opportunity to do this. But it's like, you know, if you're with someone, you might ask them how they are and they might tell you, but you'll never be able to really feel it for yourself. Whereas if they play a piece of music and they're really expressing what's going on for them, then you actually have a chance to really emotionally connect, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
So I think that as musicians, that's what we get the chance to do, which is really cool.
Cool. So to you, like the identity of the duo is in like the way you express yourselves.
Yeah, but that can change with whatever we're doing, because we'll be playing one piece of music and it's just the most beautiful lyrical thing, and then we'll play something else like the Moderna, which you'll hear later, which is just nuts and really, really wacky. So you've got the whole spectrum of emotions and experiences, and I guess we get to play with all of that.
Nice.
So
Cool.
And also maybe because like the flute is a woodwind instrument and the guitar is a plucked instrument, so they are two complete different instruments. So they're not like two stringed instruments, like maybe two guitars or guitar and violin. So they're instruments that produce different sounds, but they can blend really well. So, and in that sense, the flute and guitar duo, especially in the 21st centuries, can be seen as an equal partnership, especially thinking about the repertoire that's been written lately
Yes.
for the flute and guitar duo, which the instruments they get both get let's say hard stuff or like important parts compared to maybe let's say 200-300 years ago where the guitar was just accompaniment and the flute would have the main theme, main melody.
Yeah.
And also as flute and guitar you get the luxury of playing not just the flute and guitar music, but you can more or less kind of navigate into maybe violin and guitar repertoire, voice and guitar repertoire, and so it's very versatile.
Yeah, you can steal a lot of stuff. I guess
Definitely.
it's a little bit different than like, I don't know, thinking about doing, because Jessica and I do voice and guitar music. It is a little bit different because generally there I'm almost always in an accompaniment role. But I don't think when you're in the accompaniment role it means your part is less important per se. It sort of depends how it's written, I think, you know, like you look at something like some of the Rodrigo songs for voice and guitar, as opposed to maybe some like Sor or Giuliani where you're really just like playing chords, you know. I don't know.
Tito.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess you're right. It depends on the era and the composer a little bit. Ben Diamond says, this is a very good question for another musician because I'm so interested in other perceptions of our instrument. So, Kerry, how do you define classical guitar?
She plays classical guitar, so she can
Okay.
I did it for 7 years at the junior conservatoire.
she can play the guitar better than I play the flute.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you ever switch?
um, so
We are planning to.
my idea is that for one of our future recitals, for an encore, we'll come on, but we'll switch instruments. So I'll do guitar and he'll do flute. We're still working on getting Jacopo to agree to have a flute lesson, but
Jessica and I,
It will happen.
Jessica
It
and
will
I have been
happen.
threatening to give each other lessons for a while. She's taken one or two lessons with me actually a while ago, but then I do also want to do voice lessons with her. I think it would help our rehearsals actually.
yeah. So how do I define it? I don't know. I come at it from, I guess, two sides because I kind of not jumped ship, but I changed my my direction with my studies and everything quite a lot. For me, I think it's a beautiful instrument. I'm attracted to it a lot. I think there's a reason why I love doing stuff with Jacopo because I do love the instrument. And but as a person, as a player, I don't gel with it the same way that I do the flute. There's a kind of, when you're doing something and you just know it fits, or it's just I get that vibe when I'm working with my flute. Whereas with the guitar, I never got to that point where I gelled with it like that. So, but how would I define it?
Yeah, that's
Something that's
like, yeah. What sets it apart from other types of guitar? You can also jump in, Jacopo, if you have ideas.
For the guitar or for the...
For the guitar,
What
how do
sets
you
up
define
other-
classical guitar?
It's a very idiomatic instrument that has certain specific pros and cons. I would try to focus more on the peculiar characteristics of the guitar, such as so it can borrow some aspects from different instruments, can do vibrato, like maybe other stringed instruments. But at the same time, we can't have this kind of very long sound, so we need to find a way to make illusions.
Yes.
And it can be a percussive instrument, it can be a lyrical instrument at the
I guess it is really versatile now that I think about it. It is quite versatile.
color wise it can imitate a lot, so the guitar plays a lot around illusions in a way and suggestion in the mind of the listener.
Yeah. But you guys are...
But it's a hard instrument, as in, you'll see someone and they'll pick up a guitar and they'll be jamming away with chords, but I think to play like the classical guitar well, it's not like an exclusivity about it. I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but it takes a hell of a lot of like working your ass off to be able to play the instrument well.
I think the problem is that the guitar works really, really well if it inhabits one role, in the sense of like you think about electric guitar or acoustic guitar, and it works really well when it's doing like a solo or it's doing like chords, like you said. But the classical guitar, you have to combine all the roles, and it is really hard to do that effectively. But I guess in the flute and guitar duo, you guys are lucky, and the same with me and Jessica, that we have a lyrical instrument that can have long tones, right? That's a huge asset in a piece of music because the guitar is so lacking in that department. So, do you guys ever switch parts or switch notes? Like, do you ever in
No,
your music?
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the stuff that we've done. I don't really think. No, actually, yes, we did when we did the Moderna, the piece that you'll play later.
Yeah.
That's a piece that Jacopo did before we played as a duo together. And it's a contemporary piece for those of you that don't know. And the score is basically, it's a huge piece of paper, and it's got these tiny little fragments that are written not like the usual.
Yeah.
And basically, you have to, like, if you were doing it as a soloist, you would just pick random ones and you would stretch them and you would do them in any order you want to create this atmosphere. We done it together. So basically it was a lot of like he would play something and then I would play it back and then I would improvise on it and then he would do another thing. So I guess that's the only time that we've ever done that kind of role reversal. Well, not role reversal, but the
Rearranging
exchange and
stuff. Yeah, I guess a lot of the music you're playing, it's very clear who has the melody when. Yeah. Cool. Nice. And do you guys describe yourselves as like flute and guitar duo generally, or flute and classical guitar? Is it an important distinction or not?
flute and guitar.
We've always said flute and guitar.
Yeah, I guess it's clear enough.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't sort of restrict you to certain styles of music or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. I guess we already addressed. My next question is, why is flute and guitar a good combo? But we've already talked about that. Why do you like to play together?
You can go first.
So, I mean, the reason I think we play together came up because we are also together as a couple. So it's like we're not just friends that they like to play together. It's like before playing together, we are together in normal life, and I think to play together in a way came a little bit naturally. So it was just like because I play guitar, she plays the flute, let's play together, and this playing together I think has changed through the years because we've been doing different repertoire and we've known each other better. So in a way, our relationship within the duo has grown and it's developed in the same way the relationship as people is developing.
Oh,
I think
oh,
like
sorry.
when you can you hear
Your
me?
audio cut for a second, but you're back. We're all good.
Ah, okay. I was gonna just add on to that. I think when maybe you're working with other people that you're not so close with, well, at least me anyway, being British, Scottish, but from coming from, you know, the British land,
Yeah.
people tend to be quite reserved when they're pissed off about something. So you might not be as honest as what you would want to be. So when you're working with other people, if they're doing something that's just not working, or you know you're not feeling it, you're maybe less likely to be upfront about it and then actually sort it. Whereas
yeah.
because we're together and there's not that kind of barrier, so I'm like, that was shit. You'll be like, that was shit, and then we start it. So there's an honesty which makes it very good to work with. I think that's something that I'd like to keep with people that I work with in the future. And it'll probably insult a hell of a lot of people through my
Yeah, but
career.
if you can't be honest, how do you like improve an ensemble? I mean, you just can't, right? Like,
And it's not just honesty about saying that was bad and judging it, but there's just an honesty about even the way you are. Like if you play with that kind of honest feeling, you're not feeling restricted or worried about what the other's thinking. So you're feeling free. What you're doing is just going to be tons better anyway.
And
so
also,
I feel that.
yeah. I mean, being in a duo with your partner, it's also like, you know, you kind of trust that they're gonna like love you still, no matter what happens, which helps actually too, because it sort of takes any kind of like expectation or worry about being judged off of the rehearsal or the performance, because you're like, whatever happens, that person's still gonna support and love me, you know, like that makes a difference.
Exactly.
I guess you can have that with friends also, you know, if you play with a close friend and you know that they're
You can.
yeah.
You can.
If you have a good friendship, yes.
Well, that's what I was
definitely.
going to say. I mean, even like if I think about, you know, my school education, even when I was in high school here, the vibe was always very bitchy and not with everybody, but the general thing, and it's always kind of like waiting for someone else to mess up so you can kind of
feel better
bump up a
feel
little.
better about yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's true. That's a real thing, like over here anyway. I guess it's everywhere, but
Yeah.
so working under those conditions is a nightmare.
Yeah.
No matter what field that you're doing. So it's a breath of fresh air when it's not like that.
Yeah, the competitive mindset really, I think, is really just something that doesn't belong in music, but unfortunately is all too common, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, things like competitions don't help, but that's a whole other category, conversation. I mean, they do help in some ways, but anyways, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Agnes is asking, do you ever have couple arguments in rehearsals? I think we should shelve that question for when Jessica joins us.
Thanks, Agnes.
Yeah. Don't worry, Agnes. When Jessica joins us, we can discuss arguments in rehearsals. Yeah. Okay. You guys sent me so many awesome recordings, so we're gonna go ahead and listen to some more now. Even though it's early in the show, I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to wait till after these performances for us to do the rep guessing game. I know everyone always just wants to see that, but the pieces I'm gonna play now are both composers starting with S, Satie and Sinatra. Do you want to talk about these videos?
Yes. So these are a part of our Sweet Moments series. So the settee one, Jacopo done all the editing on it, and it's really, I
Yes,
think
a
it's
bit mental.
really wonderful.
So in a nice way.
We done it in our back garden,
Nice.
and there's an Indian takeout restaurant just below us with this horrendous fan that just keeps going. So there was that going on.
So you need to wait that the fan goes off, record
then
as
start,
best as
and
you
then-
can,
and
and
then
then
go.
hope that the fan doesn't go back on.
There's like if you imagine like a little square where the garden is, and then in every side there's
It's an
like
abusive fan outside. It's an illegal
I'm
fan.
talking about the bloody square. So there's like a square of land which is the garden, and then you've got houses like boxing it in.
Yeah.
So you've got neighbors like shut up, and no, I'm joking. But you've got like people like
We had an old man like kind of clapping us.
clapping.
Yeah.
And then in one of the episodes there was a wee kid that like ran behind, and she's actually in the episode.
In the first episode.
Nice. Wonderful. Oh no. What happened? Oh, sorry everybody. Oh, you're back.
Oh, I think it was in.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, it's back.
Apparently my
Hey.
internet connection is unstable apparently, which is weird because I have my Ethernet cable plugged in.
My 1 hour 2, yes.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Anyways, there's a wee
what
kid
did you-
who ran in.
Is that all you heard? Sorry. Yeah, there was a wee kid that ran in, and then I was saying about the other one.
Sinatra.
Was when there's a park that's 10 minutes from our house here, and I have this project that I'm doing, which is another thing. But anyway, I had the kind of Sinatra hat. So we made this story up about, a girl working in the park and she meets a guy, and then we ended up turning it into a love story, which was really, really
Because the problem was that we wanted to do a sort of nice shooting, but the camera died. So we had to use my phone, and we were kind of limited to where to place the phone. So we had to kind of find weird position for the phone to record us. So that's why eventually we changed the plot.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. So the settee is in the garden with the fan interrupting you, and then the Sinatra is in the park.
Yeah.
Cool. Isaac Engel says, Michael, can you boost your volume in the stream program? It's a little quiet. Thank you, Isaac. I turned the mic up a bit, so tell me if that improves it. And
Is it us?
no,
or
it's
quiet?
me. It's me. It's
Oh,
not you
okay.
guys. I have control of it. Don't worry. I control the sound. Okay, let's listen to some settee and Sinatra. Wonderful. Very nice. I have to introduce to the stream, this is my fiance, Jessica.
Hello.
Who I've talked about a little bit on the stream before.
Oh,
she
God.
wanted to join to help interview Jacopo and Kerry.
Sure.
Because we met you guys at the same time. Sure.
Sure.
So if people want to grill Jessica and ask questions, they can also do that
Sweet goodness, please do not.
in the chat.
Y'all who know me, step lightly.
So Agnes was asking, do you ever have couple arguments in rehearsals?
Is this our Agnes?
Jacopo and Kerry. Yeah.
Hi, Agnes. I like your Bach videos.
Yes, we do all like Agnes's Bach videos. Frank Scott says, hey, two duos. Exactly. Duo power.
I got into this.
Yeah.
Okay, can I answer this question?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, you go first. I'll
Okay.
tell my one.
Okay. No, I'm kidding. So when we first started playing together, I think I struggled more than you did with it. But I'll give you a bit of backstory with it. So Jacopo, as lovely as he is, likes to comment on everything that I do. So when we first got together, it would be like, I would be making coffee, and it would be like, why are you putting that in that? And I'd be
That's
like,
totally you. She does this every day.
making the coffee. Or what other things would you do? It's like freaking brushing my teeth. Why are you doing that? It's like everything, right? And I got really pissed about it. So when we rehearsed, it was like the same Anyway, when I went to Italy and when I met like other Italian people and Jacopo's family who are absolutely lovely, but when I was living with his family, basically that's I think an Italian thing more than a Jacopo thing. So I have a lot more compassion about it now. So when it happens in rehearsals, I'm less likely to get super angry Scottish girl and like storm out with my flute bag, which happened one time at the conservatoire. But yeah, he's nodding away. Like, yeah.
That's tame, darling. Just give it some time. Come on. We've had some very
Some interesting rehearsals.
yeah, some definitely interesting rehearsals. Michael is analytical.
Yeah, we have different like
how does we have very different musical languages.
very different ways of thinking and talking about music.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're saying the exact same thing, but we just express it in totally different ways.
Yeah.
And then we get in like little circles of like, what do you mean? You know?
And Mike says, like, I'm like, well, it's like a full line. Like, you breathe the phrase and, you know, all the singer terms that, you know, that you have.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just,
yeah.
And I'm like, well, no, how do I, like, I can't say, like, okay, now play, like,
The
a
problem-
crescendo at 60 fucking hertz. I don't, not.
That's
am
how I-
Wait, am I supposed to swear on this?
You can
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. No,
Sorry.
but okay. So I think as a guitarist, I don't know if you find this also, Jacopo, or maybe it's my personality. Maybe it's not the instrument, but like, I tend to describe things very like precisely and analytically and stuff. And Jessica's a lot more like, it has to sound like this. And sometimes when I'm like, can you give me some feedback? And then she gives me something like flowery and descriptive back, which is valid. Valid?
I am
Lowry?
Valid.
I am cryptic. When I speak, I speak in riddles.
Like, you know when they make the joke about how like women want men to mind read? With Jacopo will say something to me and he'll say half of the sentence.
And she needs
And
to
then,
mind read.
and then I need to guess the other half. And then if I don't guess it, he gets really like, and then I start getting really pissed and he's just like, why are you not getting this? And then actually he's not said anything. That happens too.
See, we have the over explanation, but it's just such different language. And
Yeah,
I'll,
it's
and
just-
I'll give examples and I'll sing it through and whatnot, but then I'll get so mad because let's be honest, of like the fire. Oh my God, sorry, that's Nehru.
That's our cat.
She's like,
Yeah.
Mom.
Our cat is
Um,
climbing the curtains.
But I'll get so frustrated that we got friendship rings when we first moved to Europe, and I got so.
Because she's my best friend.
Yeah. And then, anyways, but I got so frustrated that I'm like just flipping him the bird.
We put the
So,
rings on the middle finger.
I put my ring on the middle finger. So whenever I flip him the bird, which is pretty, it's been less often later on in our practice times, but
We've learned.
there's been times where I'm like, I fucking need a break, and I walk out and I need some air. But I just flip on the bird and it's like, it's my happy reminder being like, remember, I love you, we're friends, but fuck off. So that happens. So rehearsing with your partner is
Interesting.
very interesting.
I think
Communication
I
is
think
really
we've gotten a lot
important.
better because I think we've both learned sort of how we both communicate about music.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she says something or I say something that's really not, sorry, the cats are not happy that
They're
we're
not used to me being here.
Climbing.
Yeah, they're climbing the curtain. I think now we understand each other's communication well enough that like I don't get frustrated anymore when I don't understand what you're saying. I just try and figure it out, you know, and clarify.
Basically, just do what I tell you to do, and then everything will be fine.
I was gonna say vice versa.
Easy.
Guys, are we too dark? Do you want me to like
Maybe a bit more light would be good. But yeah, oh, that's better. Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
like God's shining down on us?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gotten better.
Yeah, I'm making Mike do text translations now.
Yep. Because
Oh,
I
wow.
wasn't.
He wasn't
Are you
doing-
talking about that in Carry On?
Yeah,
Mm.
you gotta know what you're playing. You have to know. Just because
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
singing the words doesn't mean you're not part of the text.
Should I start making you do a harmonic analysis?
That's really on
This is a good idea.
wanting to think about how you want to be treated by me. That's really on you.
If you don't understand the harmony, how can you choose
no,
your
but that's
dynamics?
True. That's true. You have to understand harmony. You just have to help me with it because I'm just out of
Okay.
rusty.
Charlie James Music says, "Hey, hi, Charlie James Music."
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. So that's about us. But like, has your arguments increased or decreased as you've gotten used to rehearsing together?
they are much more to speak, so we can kind of control them better because we can speak and kind of more or less find a solution. So if we don't understand each other, maybe if we have different ideas, and we say to the other person, why don't we do it the other way? Then we can kind of compromise better rather than kind of going two different ways. So we can more or less find ways and.
No, it's like at the start of it, remember I was saying about the whole transparency thing? I used to brood, so if we'd be in rehearsal and Jacob was like, what are you doing there? I'd just be like, and I wouldn't say anything. Whereas now it's more like,
Let's work
then-
it out.
We did a few exercises I got us to do was we play it the way that like the one of us is leading. So typically, really, it is the singer that's leading in a phrase, right? But it's a really great exercise to understand the other person's perspective on the score and the music if they lead. So we would practice where a few times where Mike would lead, and I would have to follow him in his dynamics, in the phrasing, and the feel of that piece.
In places where normally you would lead.
Yeah, and it just gets more insight into his perspective, and then we go, okay, well that works, but then this is kind of how it would work with the text or breath, and I'll be like, oh hey, I do have to breathe at some point, so we need a breath in there, and then figuring it out from there, and it's a bit easier to find.
I think asking questions is the biggest thing. Like when you hear something, asking questions rather than making assumptions about what the other person is doing.
He's fine. He's just gonna drink your beer.
Our cat's
second
climbing
cat.
over the whole light system, and
that's
I'm
what
worried
happens
that
when but they're still technically ish kittens.
they're yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So that's a nice tactic we had because singing with guitar is very
Different.
very different, especially for my instrument. How did you find Kerry? Because how is it playing with guitar for flute?
Oh, hi guys. We can see your bellies.
Yeah, but then everybody else.
Everybody else can't. It was the. It was only. It's only your camera, not the camera for the audience. Don't worry. I had to move the computer.
Oh my gosh! If
I had to close the computer lid because our cat was starting to rummage in the cords, and I was worried he was going to unplug the internet connection. Anyways, Jessica, ask your question.
Sabotage.
For me, at
The
this,
organ, maybe.
yeah. So the flute tends to be louder than the guitar. When there was a point when we were playing together, maybe a year ago, I had a lot of changes that I made to my embouchure technique, and the control that I have like now, I didn't have it back then. So to be able to play softly on the flute, you need a lot of control here because you need to basically make the hole smaller, but you want to still keep the intensity of your sound. So at the beginning, I was having to play really loud, just kind of all the time to get a good sound. So playing with Jacopo, I think I was always much louder. Now I think we have a lot more. Well, I think we have a lot more versatility with the dynamics and stuff. So, but I do need to work quite hard a lot of the time to come down. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge. But we don't need to like amp the guitar up or anything. It's not like I'm like.
Yeah.
Like that, like, cause yeah, some people do, but
Yeah,
but
Jessica has our cat. We use an amp at least right now. Your voice.
Can we tell the classic rehearsal story where he doesn't put you in the greatest light, but it was really funny. Is this okay, guys?
yeah, of course.
You're so annoyed with me, but it's funny. So we were rehearsing, and like wasn't singing full voice. We're just rehearsing, and he was unamped, and he just stops and goes like, and I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I can't hear myself. I'm like, I'm not even singing out yet. It was like,
This is unamplified, yeah. It's,
unamplified.
and I would not say I'm a quiet player. Maybe not the loudest, but definitely not a quiet player. Jessica just has.
I just have a very, very different.
I mean,
big instrument.
Your pianos play full stick with you, so yeah, that kind of thing.
It's a very different perspective.
It's not like your typical like light voice,
I don't have
usually guitarists play with smaller voices generally, so it's very different. But I think that it brings something different to the rep.
Oh yeah, we're bringing a lot of fuego.
A lot of fuego. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I remember
Yes.
Oh, I can't even remember what piece it was. It was when we were in Carry On and you guys were performing, and Jessica, you went for it in one of the. You remember me
The
telling
Faya
you about
probably,
it?
yeah.
Was there some? Yeah, the.
In the polo, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go into character. What was it? Was it a
Ma sei
woman?
polo?
A,
She's like she's grieving
Her
so
mother-
intensely over the loss, and she is livid.
Yeah.
Livid. Thou hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yes.
So I like that
That
one.
wasn't-
I do that one when like, especially we've had some situations we've been in concerts and like people start talking, and I just
Uh-huh.
kind of just lose my. I'm still in professional mode, but sometimes I let myself sing more full voice.
okay.
And I'm kind of like, well, how's it feel to turn down those hearing aids? You know, it's fine. But I mean, I'm really respectful to the elderly. I really do respect them. Cheers. This is why I'm not allowed in things. See,
No.
no, it's fine. Nobody's commenting. It's fine. Nobody's hearing me. This is fine. You'll just cut this out, right?
So
amp it up, Kerry.
we've learned how arguing in rehearsals works.
Temperamental porn.
Are you guys ready to play a game?
Yeah.
You
Let's
sound
play.
you sound like Jigsaw.
Yeah, do you wanna play a game?
You want to play a game?
Oh my god, we played Jenga.
Okay, we're gonna play the repertoire listening test. And Jessica, you're not allowed to give them the answers.
But what if I want to?
I said you're not allowed. I run the show here. This is my show. I just have to
Phone
say.
on me. Ah, sugar.
Okay. Okay. So everyone who's watching knows we're gonna play the repertoire listening game, and this time I focused exclusively on flute and guitar repertoire.
Cool.
But I know nothing about flute and guitar repertoire really, except for like. Except for.
Was it?
He's not supposed to admit that.
Apparently, I'm not supposed to admit that. So, I mean, other than like the obvious stuff like Bartok, Piazzolla, etc. So, I hope that I chose like the beginner, intermediate, advanced categories correctly, but it could just be a free for all, you know. So.
If you choose stuff that we don't know, then we're gonna say it's because you chose very obscure repertoire.
Yes. Okay.
And it's not fair or moral.
I will.
You should have a code word, you guys. When it gets too desperate, you need a hint.
Well,
What's your code word, and I'll send you something.
They do have a lifeline.
Can I be there?
We have a life.
No, you have a lifeline for the audience.
I'm technically the audience. I'm watching
No,
them.
you're part of the show.
On the,
But it's on my
that's not-
Facebook and my iPad.
Okay, well you can walk over there and comment there if you want. Okay. So the lifeline is if you want the audience to help you on one piece. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And
How many pieces, how many questions are we?
I think there's 12 or something.
How much problem?
Okay, question 3 lifelines, so we need to do some.
And I will give you hints for everything. Don't worry, especially because you can guess the composer, which is not so hard, the piece, which might be difficult, and the player, the duo or the players. If you get one of the players right, I'll give it to you. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I will give you hints for the players, especially because it's very hard to know the players. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that I have my audio shared. Okay, I do. Good. All right. Okay, my list here. All right. Don't write out the names. Number 1.
Ashley Matthew.
Do you guys have like your speakers connected to your screen? Because when it's like shaking when the music is playing.
Yeah.
The image is like
That's
amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. I just was
I
curious.
feel really intense.
Do you want to hear another section, or is that enough to know what it is?
Yeah, let's hear another section.
Okay, you can guess like the composer or the piece before the player. You know you can do it in stages. Any idea?
I I think maybe Bach. Yeah.
Bach.
Is that your guess?
I'm saying, it's Bach.
Yes,
yeah.
Bach. Yeah, I'll give you a couple guesses for everything, so you can just. Yeah, it's Bach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you name? You don't have to name the exact piece if you can name like the type of piece it is. Can you name what type of piece it is, Kerry or Jacopo?
An allegro.
Yes, it's an allegro. Okay, very good. It's an allegro from one of the flute sonatas.
From the
Yeah.
flute sonatas.
Yeah.
Tira.
So you got the piece and the composer, and the players.
He's Matthew McAllister and Aisling Agnew.
It's not them.
But I'm not. Yeah, I
It's
don't
not
think
them.
it's them.
These are two American players who teach at quite important universities in America.
Cavatina?
Not
Cavatina
Cavatina,
duo?
actually. Not them.
Tutte chitarre in America.
One of the players is a GFA winner.
Jeffrey.
American GFA winner.
What?
Don't know. There are some.
Are you going to give up on the player?
Feel.
What?
Are you reading lips?
No.
Jessica,
No.
I'm not giving you the point for that. It's
Rude.
it's Jason Vio and
That's what I said!
I know, but Jessica gave you the name.
I
It's
didn't give it to
okay. Can you? It's Jason Vio and Gary Shocker.
Cool.
Nice.
Who's Gary Shocker, by the way, Carrie? Can you illuminate this?
I mean, he's got a great name. Let's be honest.
Great
Gary
name.
Shocker?
Okay, so two out of
That's awesome.
2 out of 3.
Gotta be checking them out, but I'm not too sure.
2 out of 3. Okay. This is the beginner category, so good job. 2 out of 3. Next one. Ready?
It's gonna get hard.
Okay, wait. You guys talked so loud you made it distort. What was that?
So it's Castelnuovo tedesco, second movement Siciliana from the sonatina.
Yes, indeed. Very good.
And for
Love
the
it. I love bringing the Italians.
Italians, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And the player?
Oh, we were talking.
I didn't know about these players before. Stop trying to get hints. I don't think these hints are helping.
Where are we from? Is a totally.
Okay.
not
Okay. It's
great
a
name.
it's a Canadian duo.
It's a Canadian duo.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're in existence anymore. They may not be doing things anymore. It's a slightly older recording. Not that old, but
I'm more confused about Jessica's hints than the question.
where we're from.
Where we're from. There's.
Oh, you're from!
Yeah.
There's siblings.
Yes, this is a
They're
Canadian
siblings.
duo that are siblings.
No.
No, okay. They're called Duo Simile.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, there's like 2 sisters from Canada, but I don't think they perform
See,
anymore.
I don't
know.
think anybody's having problems because they're not singing in the chat. They're not annoyed, so it's fine.
Okay, so still 2 out of 3. Yes, but you're ruining the game.
No, not.
Okay.
Make it more interesting.
Okay, 2 out of 3. Last one in the beginner category.
It's a Ravel's Pavan for a Dead Princess.
Yes.
Which is the first piece that we played. Like,
Oh.
Then finally, turning last, so it's a piece that we never eventually managed to finish together. So when we were about to go to carry on and to bring this piece and perform it, so I studied my guitar part. We started rehearsing, she said, no, I don't like it to play. So we never played it anymore.
No. But you know what was the sweet? First of all, the arrangement was shite. So that's
The arrangement is
why I
really-
didn't like it. But when we went on our first date, we were talking about music that we liked, and we both said the
Yeah,
Ravel
Pavan.
Pavan.
Oh.
So yeah, it's like our piece. Like
Oh.
But we never get
That.
we will do it one day. But yeah.
That's sweet. And who are the players?
No friggin'
You want to
idea.
hear some more?
I know Matthew and Aisling.
Sorry?
Shall we say Matthew and
I
Ashley?
know Matthew and Aisling recorded
It's
it.
them, yes.
Matthew.
Very
So
good.
it's in their album. So.
Yeah, Matthew and Aisling is
The
how
only
you
duo
pronounce her
that we
name?
know.
How
Huh?
do you pronounce her name?
Scottish.
Aisling Agnew.
Aisling
It's her
Agnew.
birthday today.
Oh,
It's her birthday.
happy birthday to you. Okay.
Happy birthday, Aisling.
Happy birthday, Aisling, if you watch this. Okay, so you got 3 out of 3 on that one. Okay, so in the beginner category, you guys got 7 out of 9. Very good.
And that's it.
Okay, intermediate category. Sorry?
This is the Mario Giuliani Sonatina for flute and guitar.
Not Sonatina, but it is Giuliani.
It's
I'll let you keep guessing for the piece.
what did you write?
Kerry.
Some sort of
Sorry?
grand.
Grand
Grand couple. Duo. Grand
duo concertante, yeah. Yes, Grand Duo Concertante by Mario Giuliani, and it's an Irish flute player and a Japanese guitar player.
Wow.
Any idea?
Shinichi Fuda, guitar player.
Sorry?
Is that
Shinichi Fuda.
No, it's not Shinichi, but I do like his playing, but it's not him. One of the most, I think probably the most famous Japanese guitar player ever to exist, probably. Classical. Yamashita, yes. Kazuhito Yamashita, and the flute player from Ireland? Kerry?
2.5 points out of 3.
No, it's okay. You can have the player because you got Yamashita. It's James Galway.
Okay.
Can I just hear a little bit more of it? Because
Yeah.
he plays with so much lovely vibrato.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to this CD later actually because Yamashita's amazing and this flute player is great too, from what I hear.
Do you guys feel like you're gonna have this is Mike actually finding all the new rep you can do in the future? Like you don't have to go looking for shit. Mike's just giving it all. To you.
Just here. I know. Thank you.
Nice. Okay, 3 out of 3. Very good. Okay. Next one. There's only 2 in the intermediate category.
Isn't he? No, he's Irish. Isaac. Hi.
Okay.
He's the guy that about the program.
Any idea?
So we play this.
So this is the first movement from the Suite Popular Brazilian by Celso Machado
Yes.
called Pacoca.
Now, just trying to think who it could
I
be.
think
Celso Machado is great. I
Yeah.
met him a few times because he's near Vancouver. He's in Victoria, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he's in Canada. So
Didn't you just give it away?
huh? No, they just guessed Celso Machado.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. He was pretty involved with the Guitar Society in Vancouver when I worked there. So
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, who could it be?
good composer. Fun fact:
I think who's got it on YouTube.
it's not on YouTube. This is on Spotify.
Ah. Is it Jane Rutter, the flute player?
No. This is another Canadian duo, and I swear it's not because of my Canadian bias. This is the people I found on Spotify. On Spotify, it kept feeding me Canadian content. I don't know if that's because of my search history or what. I don't know.
It might be. It might be. No, we're gonna pass on
pass
who it
on,
is.
okay.
It's Duo Calixa.
Mm-hmm.
Mariette Stevenson and Kelly Williamson. Both their names end with son, which is odd, but anyways. Okay, 2 out of 3. So in intermediate category, you got 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6, not bad. Okay, advanced category.
Great.
You guys are doing excellent. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Any idea?
Is it Takamitsu?
No, although that's a good guess actually now that I think about it does sound like Takamitsu, but it's not.
Is this one of those really wacky contemporary composers
Yes,
that no
and
one?
I realized I don't even know where the composer's from, so I have to look this up.
Didn't do your research.
Oh.
The second part of the title is hello, hello, hello.
Very good. Hello, hello, hello. This composer's an American composer and a flautist.
Think of like a big place in the States that would have a hello, hello, hello.
Grand Canyon.
The Cave?
Yeah, okay.
Canyon.
Canyon is the first word, and the second word?
Canyon Echo?
Canyon Echoes is the name of the piece.
Oh, gee!
We are playing like what's it? Not Pictionary, but charades. We're
Charades.
playing charades partner. You're my charades partner.
The piece is called Canyon Echoes. I guess I'll give you that, but you have to stop with your charades.
No, I don't deserve any of that point.
Yes, she does. It was an excellent.
No, you got it. And the composer's a flautist and composer from America.
It could be. I just played a piece, Icicle. What was the guy's name?
Aitken.
Aiken.
Woman.
Here. Is it that?
Woman.
What the fuck is that supposed to be?
What she's trying to tell you is it's a woman. It's a female composer.
It's a female composer.
Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Very good. No.
Is that it?
No. It's Catherine Hoover. Any idea on the player? Or should I just tell you?
Yeah, just tell us.
Okay, it's Armin Abdehodzik, who's a Bosnian guitarist teaching in Alaska, and Tomoko Raften, who I believe is his partner. I think it's another guitar and flute husband-wife duo, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Foreshadowing.
Awkward.
Awkward. Okay, so anyways, the piece is called Canyon Echoes by Catherine Hoover. It's a very cool piece, actually. Emma Rush mentioned it to me. So, yes. So I'll give you 1 out of 3
They should do
because.
that one.
Sorry?
They should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should
Sounds cool.
check it out. It's cool. It sounds neat. Okay, next one.
Oh, cool.
Remember, you still have your lifeline. There's 3 more pieces.
I love that.
In terms of sonorities, it reminds me of Domeniconi, like the variation on the Anatolian
Oh,
folk
totally.
song.
Yeah, it's not Domeniconi, but it sounds totally like that piece, actually.
I don't know what
Maybe
that
it's
is.
a
but
guitarist
it's beautiful.
Oh,
composer.
I should look this up.
Did not do your homework.
Well, I did on the flutist, but
I realize
yes, a Serbian guitarist composer,
Serbian guitarist composer.
not Domeniconi.
Is it
Nope.
I don't know if Bogdanovich is not Serb.
I think he's from. No, it's not Bogdanovich, but you're in the right area. Apparently, they do.
Okay. Can we just say that it is another Canadian?
It's another Canadian duo. Maybe you know this duo though. This might be a duo you know. I'm sorry. I'm showing my nationalism.
A
here.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Every time you say Canadian, Michael Bublé comes to mind, but he doesn't play it. So I'm like,
It's Justin Bieber and Michael Bublé.
Great. I mean,
Justin Bieber playing the guitar. Sorry.
oh, so unfortunate. What's happened? Okay, this is a
Jacopo,
cool
like-
duo.
it's a Canadian duo, very active right now, performing a lot. Well, I mean, not because without COVID, they would have been performing a lot.
Sans COVID,
Yeah.
they're rocking it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm.
Guitarist has super
From
sassy-
Hamilton.
Super sassy guitarist.
Super sassy guitarist.
I don't know if they know this guitarist.
Do we know them?
I mean, you probably
Have we
know
met-
who they are. I would guess. Maybe not. Could be mistaken.
It's a woman. Woman.
Yes.
Woman. Sharon is no, she's not from Canadian. Is she?
No, she's not
I was gonna
Canadian.
say Sharon is, but she's not Canadian.
From Hamilton.
Sh-
You're so bad. Okay, but back to the composer. Do you know who this composer is, Jacopo, or should I just tell you?
No.
Okay, it's Miroslav Tadic.
Do you know that?
No.
Oh, okay, he's a Serbian composer. And the piece is called Jovka Kumanovka, and it's played by Azuline duo, Emma Rush and Sarah Traficante. Do you know Emma Rush?
Emma Rush runs the Hamilton
Guitar Festival.
Emarash, yes. I've seen.
You were talking about her.
She's cool
Loads.
people.
Yeah, she's really cool.
I just made her something.
If you're watching, Emma, hello.
Love you, Emma.
Anyways, okay, Azuline duo playing Miroslav Tadic. Yeah, you should check out this CD if you like the piece. I think there's a few movements.
Yeah, that was stunning. That was actually stunning.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it's cool music. Okay, 0 out of 3. Sorry, guys. But this is the advanced
We're gonna
category, so it's bound to happen. You have 3 more pieces, but don't forget to use your lifeline, right?
Okay.
Next one.
How do you even say that?
I'm not sure. I'm hoping I don't have to say it. This is one of the most famous flute and guitar duos. And this composer is the daughter of a very famous guitar composer.
This composer is a daughter.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is that Clarissa Satt?
Yes,
maybe?
Clarissa Sads. That was a big hint.
That was amazing.
You're welcome.
Isn't a big hint.
That
Ah!
was a big hint.
So is this the Hassad guitar?
Satt, there is the duo.
The brothers?
Yeah, and Sergio's daughter Clarice is a really amazing composer. She doesn't write a lot of like solo guitar music, but there are some arrangements. Kevin Lowe on the stream last week played, or a few days ago, played one of her pieces, really beautiful. She wrote a guitar concerto actually, but she wrote this piece as well, or arranged, I should say, this piece. And I guess you probably don't know the name of the piece, right?
I can't even. Okay.
It's I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I think Jovka. Oh no, sorry.
No, it's the.
Kalajisko Oro. Kalajisko Oro. It's a Macedonian folk song that she arranged. Yeah. And
Like
but
I
the
can't
the
even-
duo, you know this duo. I'm sure you know this duo.
Okay. Strong. There is a female presence with this duo.
Yeah, very much so. But they're. It's a man and a woman. Another Bosnian guitarist, actually.
No.
Bosnian.
Come on.
In a flute and guitar duo.
Can I go get a glass of water?
They teach in America. They're not American, but they teach in America.
Mike, on his YouTube channel, has an interview with this person.
I meet people.
These people.
Renee?
No,
No,
not Renee.
it's not.
It's,
Further
no,
back.
that's not a good hint because it's not for this show. It was like years and years ago I made this.
Don't actually. He's actually.
You guys already mentioned this duo.
Cavatina?
Yes, Cavatina duo.
The
Very good.
flautist takes it. Yes.
Freaking guitarist.
Yeah.
I'm like terrified if Mike and I had to do this, and like people are like, "What are guitar and voice duos?"
I'll give you 2 out of 3.
That'd be really, really hard.
I guess we have to wait for Jacopo before I play the next one, right?
Yeah, rude.
Rude.
Can we just talk about him and about how much we don't like?
Let's talk about him. Let's embarrass him. What are some really wonderfully embarrassing stories that he does not want you to share about him?
On live on the internet.
Yeah, why not?
I know. Let's rewind. Embarrassing story. He has none that he will let me share. Ask more probing questions and then I'll have to answer them.
Do they have to do with flatulence?
You're anticipating my would you rather questions, baby. You have to wait for that.
Oh.
You're asking about when you last farted.
3 minutes ago.
3 minutes ago. Okay.
3 minutes ago.
Okay. Back to the game. I'm just gonna rein this in and bring it back to the program I have for the show. This game. Okay. Next one.
We have all repertoire lined up. You are the best repertoire chooser ever. Our next CD or program or whatever is
I'm
just
gonna
going to be your
commission
stuff.
For either a 6-pack of beer or $20, I will plan your program for you.
We can do both.
Both. Oh, amazing! Wow, really just winning on this one.
This is gorgeous stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I would like to listen to if I knew it, which I don't really know.
Okay, so I'll give you a big hint on the composer. This composer was an extremely famous Indian musician.
Ravi Shankar.
Yes, Ravi Shankar.
Agnes
Yeah, exactly. And what else can I say? This is an extremely famous flautist, a Franco-Swiss flautist.
Franco-Swiss flutist. Patrick Gallois.
No.
He's French.
No, but this is a very important flautist in Europe. As from what I understand, what Google told me.
From Europe.
Well, I mean, France, and Switzerland.
Agnes says she knows it.
Agnes has one. I have one. I think she means a question. Yeah, share it, Agnes, please, in the chat. We'll get to it. Don't worry.
Or if you know the answer, just put the answer in the chat.
Oh yeah, you guys can still. Well, you have one more after this for your lifeline. I guess you'll have to use it on the next one.
Okay.
But on this one, any idea on the players?
No.
Okay, it's Emmanuel Pahut and Christian Riviere.
Sorry.
You know who that is? Okay.
The problem with flute players is like it's different. For example, like with a singer, you generally know who a singer is because of their thing.
Right.
With a flautist, it's like if you listen to Jethro Tull or whatever, you're gonna know Ian Anderson's Ian Anderson, but like he's one of the maybe only distinctive ones as such. James Galway's also super distinctive because there's so much feedback on like absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But listening to all of them, it's actually quite tricky to distinguish.
Yeah,
the
I think
flute
guitars may be even easier just because guitars can be so different. And I mean, I guess flutes can also. Sorry, our cat is throwing shit down off the shelf.
You have to leave in a few minutes
but-
to feed them.
But also, with guitars, you have like such different types of guitars. And I mean, for example, someone like Judica Perrois, you can kind of tell their sound. Or with older players like Bream or Segovia, but I don't know.
I mean, that's the goal, though, right? You want to have an individual sound that you can be pegged out as.
Well, that is true.
That's true.
Like,
that
you
is-
want to be like someone to hear you and go like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Even if they
JK
hate it,
duo,
at least they know.
right? And they've,
Um,
it means they've listened at some point.
Oh, Agnes is saying she has an embarrassing story
Yeah,
about
saw
Jacopo.
that.
Please share,
But
Agnes.
Jacopo,
No, I'm
Share
embarrassed.
Agnes,
Oh,
share my
tell.
darling.
I'm trying to guess what she would be saying.
Okay, last piece, and I guess for
Oh, I know what she's gonna talk about. Oh my god, can I please say it right now? Like it's actually
yes,
so
yeah,
funny.
sure.
Okay, so listen.
Agnes, if this is correct, you gotta tell us.
Agnes, thank you for saying that because it never. Okay, so basically, in November, Agnes came and stayed at my flat because she had her audition to the conservatoire in Glasgow. So my flat here is absolutely tiny. So there's my dad who also stays in the flat. What's my dad's flat? So he's next door, and then there's us here, and then Agnes was sleeping in this fold-out bed that's in this fold-out bed that was in the kitchen, which is just here. So basically, Jacopo went to the bathroom during the night. But Jacopo doesn't turn the light on because you know when you go to the bathroom during the night and the light's like so you know when you when you go to the bathroom during the night and the lights are like that and you don't do it. So Jacopo never did that, right? And basically he got up. He got up. I know the punchline, this is so funny. So I was kind of awake because he got up. Then, like, after a minute, you hear my dad, who's this, like, Scottish man, going, ah! Basically, he walked in on Jacopo, and he turned the light on, and he saw little Jacopo peeing completely in the dark. And then Agnes starts having a panic attack in the kitchen because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And I cannot stop laughing for, like, the next hour after. This is, like... And he comes in, like, mortified, like...
Just keep drinking, Jacopo. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep drinking.
In my bathroom, when you turn the light on, it's like a chord. It's like... And then it comes on. So the sound was like... You can hear my dad right now going... Oh.
Oh my god.
Agnes, thank you
Agnes.
so much
Thank
for
you.
bringing this to light.
Thank you,
Oh,
Agnes.
Jacopo. Now we know what to
Very
expect.
good.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Agnes.
Okay,
Oh,
so
fuck, that's good.
I think the last piece is also like an obscure one that like, I mean, maybe I'll just play it and like we can talk about it because then you guys have it for your next CD, right?
Give me a sec, Loki.
All right, sorry, our cat's being loud. Oh wait, do I even
Yeah.
have it? Did I miss it on the?
You did not prepare well. You were so excited to talk to them.
Oh no, I have it here. Okay, you guys can try and guess if you can, if you got it. Wait, Jacopo's talking. Sorry, Jacopo?
So basically in Scotland these past 2 years in RCS there was a flute and guitar duo called the Okapi duo, and they've been playing this piece. I remember them playing this in the performance class. It might be, is that Adanas or Kursunov?
Yes,
composer?
exactly. Very
I
good.
thought you were being so crafty. Good job.
The piece, I don't remember the piece, the name of the piece.
It's a it's a sonatina.
And I didn't sleep the night before.
Oh, Agnes, honey.
I didn't sleep the night before my audition. Well, she passed the audition, so it's
Did
fine.
She got in. She got in.
Agnes, congratulations.
So yeah, she beasted it.
Oh,
It was all the adrenaline that she got the night before.
like,
that, like,
nothing could be worse than this. I got this.
Exactly. Okay, very good. I'm just gonna give you guys 3 points for getting the piece because I thought the piece was like unknown. So nice. All right, in advanced you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12. No wait, 7 out of. Oh, sorry, 15. Still not bad for advanced.
Sufficient.
Yeah, very good.
better than what we expected.
You guys are great.
You did awesome.
Okay, we're gonna listen to some more playing. We're gonna listen to Pudank.
Ooh, nice.
You want to talk about this
Did
piece?
Carry on, right?
This is
Oh, it's
so
Kerry.
this. No, we did, but the recording's not. This was one of the recitals that we did. So when we got back to Glasgow after Christmas in Italy, we set up a Scottish tour. So we had lots of them have been cancelled because of COVID, but we did 3 of them. So this was from the second one. It was in the Spire Church in Glasgow. It's this beautiful big church. The day that we had this recital, there was a storm in the city, and basically we had to walk from the conservatoire to the venue, and we got like
Like
you know
a
in
5 minutes walk, but we got
you know in the movies when you get like the wind machines and you get blasted.
And
So
the hail,
it was
like, the
nuts.
hailstones.
So we showed up at this venue. We were really early, so it was fine. But we were just like this. We were just a mess. And then when we got into the big church, there was heated floors. So I just took my shoes off and we were like they left us alone to warm up and play. So it was just stunning. So we got all settled in. But the footage, I think my mum
Yeah.
or dad, one
No,
of
your mum
them,
took it.
my mum.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it was my mum that took this.
Nice.
This footage.
And what's the piece, Sarah? What's the piece?
The movement Perpetuels, the first movement.
Cool. Nice. And you made this arrangement, Jacopo, or no?
No, this has been it's an arrangement that we have that we found it.
It was
remember
Matthew and Aisling, the duo. They
They played it, but it's not
Matthew
the arrangement.
gave us loads of music when we first got together.
Cool, nice.
This was one of them.
Awesome. Okay.
But yeah, we played it in Carry On as well. That's why
Yeah,
we
that's
liked
Yes.
it.
nice, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's listen to some Poulenc. Sorry, everybody. Apparently the Poulenc is not properly connected. One moment. Poulenc there. Sorry, guys. I didn't set this one up properly.
Oh, we're back.
We're back. The Poulenc is over.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kerry, you're kind of covered by my video. Can you move a little bit left? Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Can you see me now?
It's good. Wonderful playing.
Thank you.
Very nice. Do you guys have tips and tricks for the audience for rehearsing? Because a lot of guitarists play chamber music because, well, actually the reason is just because it's easier to get gigs and have a real career if you do chamber music, as I'm sure you both know. It's important, actually, I think, for everyone to do it to some extent. So what tips do you have for rehearsing? What makes a good rehearsal?
For sure, maybe having an idea of what you want to get out of the rehearsal, because it's not just you maybe playing alone in your practice room, but there's also another person, so you're kind of responsible. It's a 50-50 responsibility in the rehearsal, so to talk about what we're gonna do and to be clear about the goals of the rehearsal. And another tip, definitely speak clearly. We talked about this before, but to actually speak clearly about ideas and trying to communicate as best as possible, or if the other person, for example, we were rehearsing the other day with Kerry, and she was trying to say something to me, I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. So to actually being super honest, if you, for example, if you don't understand what the other person wants, and to take it like very, very fluid and very flexible and very gentle.
Yeah.
Tips. There's a thing that I like that we do is before when we record the episodes, sometimes we sit in the kitchen with coffee and a piece of paper and we'll make a plan for what we do. So we can talk about like our recording thing, in a later time, but we'll make maybe a schedule for the day, or we'll just bullet point some ideas that we've got, but not with the instruments. I think when you're with your instruments, a lot of the time, you either get caught up in the technicalities of what you're doing, or you get distracted practicing your part or whatever. When you don't have the instrument, it's just you talking with a piece of paper. I find that the ideas can flow, maybe without that restriction that the instrument can sometimes give. And then you can both talk about it and you can make a plan, and it works if we've done recitals and we're planning programs, or we're talking about ideas for repertoire. It's the same thing. We can sit with a piece of paper and we can brainstorm ideas, and then we bring it with us into the rehearsal, but we've got more of a structure rather than just whapping out the score and shouting at each other.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's cool.
Also recording, like if you have a portable recorder, it's not a telephone but a recorder that gives you a better quality. It's like when we rehearse here in Kerry's room, she has the speaker, so we can actually record and put it back in the speaker, so we can hear.
What's the name of the recorder that you had?
I had a Tascam DR5, which is the kind of bass
The external mics that you can record.
recorder,
So
which is like similar to the Zoom H1. Now we're getting the Zoom H4n. Because
but
there are more functions and stuff.
because sometimes when you play, you think that maybe you're doing a crescendo here, or that's really dolce, and then when you listen back to it, it's like, I thought I was doing that, and that's not what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So recording's really, really helpful. Plus, when you're playing as a duo, it's like it's double the amount of things that you think that you're doing that maybe aren't coming across, or like, I don't know, maybe Jacopo's got a much more important bit than me, but yeah, I'm overpowering him, but I thought I was backing off. So recording's really, really important. And yeah, I've got like the speaker set up here, so we could just plug our recorder into that and hear it and see how it goes, and then work from that. So that's quite a useful resource.
Nice. Makes sense. Yeah. Recording is important, I think, no matter what you're doing as a musician.
Also, know the other people's part. That's very important.
Yeah.
Because you need to, especially if you want to play together, it's like you need to help. At least maybe if you're playing a concert, you know there's something trees coming up, you actually are ready to do the worst. You can more or less navigate through it rather than just play your part and focus your part. And that, I think maybe playing by memory, knowing by memory the score plays a big role. At the moment we are not playing by memory, but there has been moments in which I was basically, I know that I know the piece by memory, but I'm playing with the score and kind of confused between going either by memory or looking at the score, and it becomes too confusing. So it's important.
With some of our program, especially the Faya, there was a point where like all 7 songs I had sort of semi-memorized, and it was just a mess because, like you said,
it's even. I think you end up playing worse.
Yeah.
Then I either do either by memory or by score. If you are in between, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. The other problem was at that point I was like making my own version of the Faya. And Carlo was also changing a bunch of things. So I was like half by memory, sort of memorized with the score, with changed fingerings and like moving octaves of certain voices. It was a bad period.
Another thing, so for guitarists, you guys don't need to breathe to make a sound. I think it's really important that you guys mark in our breaths, even if if you're playing from. When you have the score and you've got both parts on the same piece of paper, then, either mark it in on our bit so you'll see where it's coming, or if you've just got the guitar part, still mark in where we're breathing.
Yeah.
Typically, we were recording the other day for a thing, and we did it on a cappella. So even though we're together, it was just easier because he could record his part and then I could do mine, and then it would just edit it together. So Jacopo put the guitar part down first, and then I was to play on it, and basically he forgot that I have to breathe, so he went the whole way through it without taking a breath.
I was adding a challenge,
No, you weren't. You just forgot. And it was just
one breath, 1 minute, go.
So just things like that can happen. Plus, yeah.
Yeah, I always mark in the breaths on Jessica's part
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really important. Plus, it's like if another thing is sometimes in music, like say there's like a crotchet rest, and then there's not another crotchet rest for like a crotchet's like the one
It's a
beat rest.
quarter.
A quarter. Okay.
Ah.
Okay. You weird English
When there's
people.
Sorry, when there's a rest for like one beat or whatever, but Jacopo might be looking at that and thinking, oh, that's a really long time. Like, you know, of course you can breathe in that. But then he's not realised that I've had like 9 lines without one, and then there's another 20 after it, you know what I mean? So I think talking about the meaning of these pauses and how breathing is so important.
Tricks, learn circular breathing if you're a flute player. So you can just play one breath.
Very helpful, Jacopo. No, but I think in our rehearsals, I'm always asking, like, do you need more time here? If something happens, my first instinct is to be like, is there a way I can make this phrase better for you as the person who has to breathe, right? We're talking about rehearsing and how important it is to know when you have to breathe.
It's supposed to come back.
Yeah, but like,
back, Carrie.
see, I'm talking about how I'm marking your breaths in my score.
Yeah, because I used to just yell at you. I had to breathe.
Exactly. No, it's true. But I totally get that if you don't come from that
Background.
background
Yeah.
where you do that, I guess you would just keep going. But it's great because our phrasing maybe comes a bit more naturally because we do it with the breath. Whereas for you guys, it's just
Actually,
you
sorry,
need to-
Frank Scott is saying helps the phrasing too, and I totally agree. I mark breaths into my solo music, actually.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
I do that with
think
my
that's a really-
students also. With all my students, I'm always putting little commas being like, this is the end of the phrase. Make sure you slow down, take a small breath, start again, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Who taught you?
It's a really
Actually, I was doing that before we started as a duo. Because no, but I mean, you'll be happy to hear this, but I came to the realization instrumental music is always imitating the voice. I think all music is imitating the voice. So from day one with my guitar students, I'm explaining to them, like, you're playing a guitar, but actually you're trying to make a melodic singing line. Always. And what that means is that you have to pretend you're a human voice. And what that means is that you have to know when you're breathing, you know?
Have to sing.
Yeah.
That's it.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
No, it's true. Like on the topic of that, like obviously because I've got a lot more time now because I'm at home. I was reading all of the books that like I've collected over the years that I've not read and stolen. Don't steal books.
Borrowed, Jacopo. Long-term borrowed.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But there's one by Renee Fleming, you know, the opera singer.
I know.
Oh my God, it's called The Inner Voice. You should check it out.
Yeah,
One
I
that's-
had it, read it, gave it to
Oh,
somebody.
it's just
Yeah. No, like, there's certain books that like because I've moved so much.
when we were in Carry On.
I'll start passing.
no,
I'll just start sending them off to you, Carrie. That's what I have to start doing.
Do it. I love old books that other people have read. But the Renee Fleming one, it's stunning and it applies to all instruments. There's another one called Singing with Your Own Voice
The have she gave me.
that I've bought, yeah. And that one again, it talks about how like even like as soon as we come out of the womb, we're making noise, and then as we grow up, society and stuff, we learn how basically to hide our own voice. So this book's talking about how you just need to break through all of that and then find your own sound, which I think is really, really cool. That concept for being a flautist because it's so similar to being a singer. And the restriction thing that we all get, you know, I think as well, you know, if you go years and years studying with teachers and getting told that's right, that's wrong, and then you do exams, and I think it can start to put all of those barriers and filters gradually over the years, and then when you get to the point where you actually need to play and, you know, you're allowed to do your own thing, you've got all those little voices in your head that have just accumulated over the years, and that can make that quite a challenge. So
Tell doll F off. And just do your own stuff.
I do my thing, yeah.
To a degree. Keep your technique intact.
Yeah.
you keep the technique, but then you bring that with you whilst you're doing the others.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a balancing. It's a juggling act for sure. And it changes, right? Your dynamic with your own sound as well is going to change and evolve as you play
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in different repertoire.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. True. Jacopo was just saying there about tuning for flute and guitar. That's something we got. I think, if there's periods that we've been playing a lot together, I don't need to think so much about the intonation. I think I naturally do it. Like flute players, I think we're constantly adjusting the pitch with our lips. So, for you guys that don't know, it's like if you change how fast the air's coming out, it's going to drop or increase the pitch. And then if you change the angle of your lips, again, all of that. So you're constantly kind of micro adjusting and trying to sort it. And then with the guitar, like, the tuning for that is so temperamental. Plus, if you pluck too strong,
Yeah,
it's
if you
going to
press
change
too
it.
low, if you press too much,
So there's a constant kind of micromanagement thing. I do that, like, I find that I just seem to do it naturally when there's been big chunks we're playing all the time. So, like, when we were in Carry On, we were playing every day, rehearsing every night, and the lead up to that, we were doing a lot of work. But then if there's periods that we've not played for a long time, it's a pain in the ass trying to get in tune.
Yeah.
Trying to get in. So, yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, tuning is a problem.
We have a lot of jokes we tell because I just stand there awkwardly while my
Tuning.
son's tuning.
Yes. It's a good
So,
option
we
for
have
it's a good time for you to talk, I mean.
Yeah, so we set up a time for me to talk. Especially if concerts in the Netherlands, I practice my Dutch.
Yeah.
If we're on the border, I speak German, so that's nice. But yeah, it's like, so.
Well, that is kind of a challenge for us because I have a little more Dutch than you, so I'm trying to tune, but then also I'm supposed to be the one talking some of the time, so it's like,
Yeah, I scramble, it's
thing.
fine.
we manage.
I know, it's good. No, there's like, do you guys have like a standard joke you play when you're like, it's like that awkward silence in a concert? And if you're still like, is it kind of recital where you're talking to guests?
I don't think we've really had that kind of rapport thing with an audience as such.
To say jokes.
Yeah.
You said the joke when in Inverori when we start at the encore.
Uh-huh.
They start earlier than you. And then you
No, we've not. Like, I've been to concerts where the guitarist is tuning for ages, and then they make.
Yeah,
the
you can
joke.
say that half the time you spend your life changing the strings, half the time tuning them, or like filing your nails.
Yeah. Or this thing was in tune when I bought it, that kind of thing.
Okay. They're so bad, but I love them. They say them over and over.
We can add them in. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will add them into our future
Yeah,
performances.
he's got like super lame like dad guitar jokes. I love them. Like just
Yeah.
wealth.
Yes. I'm all about the puns. Or the grown worthy jokes.
Very grown really.
Yeah, for sure.
They're kind of lost here because then you have to translate them and you're like, does that actually even translate correctly?
I think I have translated the 90% of the time tuning, 10% of the time playing out of tune, but yeah, I'm not sure if I've got it correct. I need to double check that.
But take that one, it's a good one.
Yeah. Indeed. So we're gonna listen to some super weird music and then some super typical music. I've juxtaposed this Bruno Maderna piece you were talking about. That's aleatoric, right? With Asturiana, which is one of the most, I don't want to say overplayed, but well-known pieces for flute and guitar duos, and violin and guitar, and voice and guitar.
Is that the one Asturianos with the camel?
It's the Faya. No, the Faya. The Faya Asturiana.
Is that the
The-
okay.
Yes, the one we do.
And in the videos that you just said there, so the crazy fan is in the Asturiana
the
one.
illegal fan.
And also
Abusive fan.
it's horrible. It really is horrible. It's but when we were in Carry On, Daniela and the guitarist that came,
Riley,
they
yeah.
played that.
Yes.
And I remember it was in the big concert where we played the Machado. What was the name of it?
It's
The really big
Church, yeah.
church.
Where we played the Rodrigo and deafened the church.
Yeah, I remember that she played that with Riley, and she just looked like such a powerful, strong woman when she was just, doing her thing, and it just stuck in my head that I just needed to play it. And then I was asking Jacopo for basically since we got back, and he's like, oh, and then eventually we did it in one of the episodes. But yeah, they played it really lovely, and Carry On if they're watching.
Shout out to Daniela and Riley.
you are confusing with the Jota.
The Hota.
Tiridom, pi pa pa pa
Well, they
pa.
played
Yeah, but they
both.
played.
I think it's more.
No, but she looked like a strong, powerful woman.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
With all
No, but they played both, didn't they?
But her phrasing in Asturiana is so much longer than what we can do as a singer.
Yeah,
Through
that
the
was what
breath,
I
like,
noticed.
that's
Yeah,
what's so, and then it almost.
because they don't have to breathe.
Yeah, well, I
Violin
would
players.
argue that it actually, in some ways, makes it better. Like, there's something about it that adds when you
Yeah,
can
they
keep
could-
that phrase going at that pace, which is so challenging as a wind breath instrument.
Yeah.
To have it with the
Yeah,
string continuing.
when
it's-
Riley started, I was like,
it's-
they're gonna take that much time, and then when she started playing, I was like, oh right, she's not gonna run out of breath.
She's
You
not
know,
gonna
I was
breathe.
like,
She's
it's
not gonna
fine.
pass out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
If I did it,
Guys,
if I did it at that tempo, you would like fall over.
I wouldn't fall over. There would be like.
I would fall
There
over.
would be words.
I would fall over. Anyhow, okay. But first, the Moderna, which is the one where you have the fragments that you're sort of improvising on, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. We're back.
What's been happening behind the scenes?
What's been happening behind the scenes? Wouldn't the audience like to know?
What do you want, Kerry? You want to tell them what's just happened behind the scenes?
Jessica was asking to buy a piece of my art.
Commission.
I want to commission an original work of art.
Because you do art, as we saw in the video.
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yes, Jessica's gonna get something.
Everyone follow Jessica's example.
Yes, support your local artists that you know.
My page is called Pretty Porchetta. Porchetta is like when I went to Rome one time, there was a family party and Jacopo's granddad brought out this big, it was like, you know, when they cook like the pig.
Yeah.
They do something with it and they make this kind of, it's called a porchetta and it's really, really nice. So he brought out the porchetta.
It's a very nice.
I loved it. And then like I got a little kind of belly chub thing going on because of COVID. So I was like, Pretty Porchetta, I'm a porchetta. Ah! And then...
Nice.
So yeah, it's Pretty Porchetta. You guys can check it out. Yeah.
Claire Lynch
Anyway.
is giving a wave emoji, and Eve Lynch says, "Hi, Kerry and Jacopo."
Hi.
Hello.
They're on YouTube, not on Facebook.
Can
Sorry.
we put her link to her?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't put it in the video description. Can someone find the Pretty Porchetta page on Facebook and put it in the chat? Maybe you guys can.
Maybe I can.
I am.
Maybe I can. Hold on.
But also,
'Cause I don't have to talk right.
so this video you just made was part of the Sweet Moments thing you guys are doing. Do you want to talk about this video series you started since COVID?
That's Kerry's idea.
It was I can't actually remember what spurred it on. It was just I think I was just when I'm practicing a lot of ideas kind of come about the things I need to do and people to call, so I always just kind of have a pad on my desk, but that was one of them. It was just to create a little series with Jacopo. I was going to call it Moments with the JKL duo, and then Jacopo's mum was like, you could call it Sweet Moments, and then you could bake cakes as well.
Really brilliant.
So
Yeah.
Right.
exactly, so then we started like thinking, we can combine
Because we love to cook. We love cooking. So it's like, okay, we can just cook, film it, play a little bit, share it. So
and
just to keep busy
yeah.
weekly with
Yeah, I mean, with
all
COVID
this.
happening, we all have to have projects, right? I mean, that's why I started this stream, was because I was like, well, I can't play concerts now. But I know guitarists all around the world who also can't perform, but we can hang out on the internet together and play people's music. So I get it when you're like, well, I have nothing that I can put out there in the real world, so I have to have something to create with, you know.
Plus, like I had never used editing software before.
Yeah, it was an excuse to get
It was,
more
it was an
informed.
excuse to learn, basically, like by doing it. So,
Yeah.
like since being at home, like got new computers, like been using all the software for the first time. We got cameras that we've been using. It's been a really great opportunity, for that. Plus, like with the art stuff, I started doing a lot more of that and combining it. The episode that we just done, we published it today. One of my students, Jamie, we commissioned him to write us some pieces for flute and guitar.
Oh, nice.
And he wrote them, and then we made an episode just about his pieces. So we recorded them, and then he's talking on the video about each one. So we can pull out all the different things that we do and make episodes with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
Duo
is sweet.
Tenuvia will be featured eventually soon.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I'm very camera shy.
Andrew Gardner says, I'm still here enjoying the program, everyone. Hi, Andrew. And Eve Lynch is asking, do you love teaching? This is on Facebook, or on YouTube, sorry, not on Facebook. Andrew's on YouTube.
Often Brett.
Oh, is that the thing? The different.
Yeah. Eve is asking, do you love teaching? Speaking of your students.
Yeah. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, teaching's a thing that happened to me, not accidentally, but also accidentally at the same time. So it was over the past maybe 2 years or so, things have really exploded for me. So it's like there was one point where I was teaching like 7 days a week, like full days. So performing.
Oh, no. Oh, you're back.
Oh.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, performing took maybe a bit more of a back seat, and then I was just teaching so much. And it's one of the best things I think that I've ever done. I mean, obviously as a performer, you can't make, unless you're really, really lucky with the opportunities you get, it's going to be really tough to make a living solely on that. So, everyone does teaching, like you guys do loads of it too.
Yeah.
But one of the things that it's really helped me with, I think kids so much of the time, they don't have those barriers, I think, that adults do. So in terms of maybe what they'll say or how they act. So it's really refreshing spending more of my time with children rather than adults, if that makes sense.
100%. They're way funnier.
Plus, it's not children that just don't want to be there. I have friends in high schools and the kids just don't want to be there, and that just sounds horrible. But when you have kids that are coming from music lessons, more often than not, the kids are actually wanting to be there, and
Or
they're
they won't
liking
stay.
it.
Yeah.
Or they won't stay,
Yeah.
and you get a rapport with them, and then you work with them for a long time. The family. You give presents at Christmas, and you there's a bond thing that you make with your students. I know, like the ones that I've had for like the full 2 years or more that I've been teaching. Like Jamie, the guy that we did the episode with, we've been working together for a long time, and you create a really great bond with them. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
we're
great.
because of COVID, we're preparing our students for a virtual private YouTube recital for them and their families because we can't do a real recital.
Yeah.
But that's been really fun because everyone's recording their parts. I have some kids whose parents play guitar, so they're playing the accompaniment while the kid plays the melody. And there's some people I'm sending recordings to. I have some adult students who are playing electric guitar who are doing different parts for Guns N' Roses songs together. It's just really fun because everyone's sending recordings back and forth, and you're kind of getting that sort of collaborative thing even over distance. So I don't know. Yeah.
It's
But
nice entry level too, because a lot of my singers are like, I don't want to perform.
right,
But
yeah.
I've got vast majority of them performing. So no one's really there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
just
be fine.
it's
It's just
only
you.
only the other students will see it on the
Yeah.
video.
And,
It's not yeah.
And when they're performing, it's just you and the camera.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're doing some online teaching too, right, Jacopo?
Yes, the great thing about this, about art teaching is that basically let's say all the parents, they happily switched to the online lessons. So we kept the work we were doing the students during all this period, and Yes, I'm teaching, I'm loving it. And what I find super cool is that you can really learn a lot about yourself because you kind of realize the area in which you're really lacking. Or that maybe in your education you kind of went by, but you didn't actually dig in. So it's an excuse to study new things or to learn new things or to learn how to express new things and then at different levels because if you are in front of you, if you have a kid, then you're gonna um transfer what you know in a certain way, if it's an adult in another way. So it's interesting to see also how how in this case myself, how I change my approach, how I change in relation to the person that I have in front of me. If it's a kid, I might change the tone of the voice. The approach is maybe more gentle. If it's an adult, a bit more brutal. So
It depends on the kid, I think. Some kids don't mind the honest truth, you know.
So, but it's interesting to discover yourself through like through another person. So it's more it's a 360 degrees human experience. If you're an actor, you experience yourself through the role of a character. This is with a teacher-student relationship with a student.
Claire Lynch is asking, will you start suggesting drinks to go with the recipes?
Yes, I think there was a couple of times we were gonna do drinks, but then we didn't do it.
Maybe we will.
My little sister Eve,
Who's watching on YouTube?
Eve, or Wova, as we call her. She's a great fan of classic Hollywood and Audrey Hepburn, and she's got a really like I think over 11,000 people follow her on Instagram with this page that she does. It's nuts. But she posts Frank Sinatra stuff, Dean Martin stuff. Just it's amazing. And we've been saying that we're gonna do like a collab with her and do a classic Hollywood episode. So on that one we'll do cocktails.
Nice. Yeah. Good call.
For sure. My sister, she doesn't drink at all, so we'll be doing mocktails, not cocktails.
That's even better.
That's fair.
That's wonderful because then everyone's included,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Because you can say this is what you can do with the booze, but then if you don't want the booze, then
You don't need the booze.
You can still make a version of it, and that's really nice. I like that.
Wonderful.
I was gonna say another thing about teaching, which is quite cool. So a lot of the time kids will, like, if you're teaching and you ask them to do something, they'll be like, oh, can't do that, or no, it's too hard. There's that kind of like automatic response. And then I noticed that the more I was working with kids and they were saying that to me all the time, when I was practicing, if I was coming up against something that was quite hard, I would be, oh, that's too hard. And I think I was a lot better identifying those bits, because when you're a teacher and a kid says, I can't do that, you know that they can do it. They just need to go at it from a different angle. So it's your job to help maneuver them when you're doing it yourself. If you're practicing, go, I can't do that, then you need to also be the one to like maneuver yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, then you won't be doing it. And I find a lot of time when I'm practicing, I'll be like, oh, I'm doing a Kevin. I don't teach anyone called Kevin, but I'm doing a Kevin, or I'll link it up with my student, and then I'll try and kind of teach myself the way that I would do it as a student, and that's been phenomenal for me. Like all the work that I do now, that's just such a main part of it when I'm on my own, when I'm on my own practice.
For sure.
So yeah.
Leticia Giuliani says a big kiss.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
Mama.
Jacopo's mom.
Ah, bonjour. Oh no.
Good evening. I'm sorry. Jacopo, help us
Huh?
Eh?
Say good evening.
in Italian.
Buonasera.
Buonasera. Yeah. There you go.
Arialdo's gonna kill me.
Yeah, your Italian friends are not going to be happy
Yeah.
with you. They better not watch this episode.
Where? What have I taught you?
Okay, we're going to play Would You Rather. You ready?
Oh.
You can also
Would
answer this if you want, because I thought of these
Ah,
questions.
cool. How are you gonna do this? Like, well,
You both answer Would You Rather. See if you agree.
At the same time.
Yeah, interrupt each other, whatever you do best. Would you rather forget your shoes or forget to eat before a gig?
Shoes.
shoes. Always eat. Always full belly.
You can wear like sandals on stage, but as long as you've eaten.
You know
why?
Is the best
But you know
thing.
why? Because like with this COVID period doing this recording and stuff, I found that, for example, if I was doing recording in the morning and I didn't have a proper breakfast, but just maybe some milk and coffee, I would start shaking because I didn't have enough energies and because of coffee. So always have a belly full, so I mean not too full, but like with energy,
Yeah.
so you can play and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Porchetta.
Porchetta, yeah.
In your belly.
Nice. If the audience thinks of would you rather questions for Kerry and Jacopo, let us know. Okay, number 2. Would you rather go on stage and play an entire concert in your pajamas, or would you rather do the concert really sick, like sick as a dog, you're coughing and sneezing and etc.?
Pajamas.
Pajama.
Pajamas.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially in time of COVID. That's a dumb one.
Yeah, Michael, that's really.
That's really. You didn't. I should have edited this for you.
Well, you didn't, so.
You never asked.
You're not getting invited back on this show.
Bandes, she's
No,
been
I'm
back.
not gonna be. No, this is. I realize this is like a one-time only.
No, you're welcome anytime. Frank Scott says Vincent Peirani is barefoot on stage always. I don't know this Vincent Peirani. Do you know who this is, Jacopo?
No?
Guitarist or Frank? Can you tell us what kind of instrumentalist or musician this is?
Some singers are notorious for singing barefoot, not
Huh.
just because they're staged in operas that way.
I was gonna say there was like when I was doing my junior conservatoire, there was a teacher. I cannot remember her name, but we did senior choir. It was called every morning, and she would come on like the stage, and we'd be sitting in the audience doing the rehearsal, and she would be barefoot every week.
Yeah.
And I just thought, cool.
Well, I mean,
It was so
like
cool.
it makes sense. Like heels take you out of alignment, so you have to realign your whole body with
Right, yeah.
proper posture to support for your breath support. So, and it does funky things and with adding extra tension to your jaw, wearing heels and all that stuff like that. But I mean, they just look so fabulous sometimes that, you know,
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Frank Scott is an accordionist, jazz accordionist. Huh. I'll have to
So
look
it
him
goes
up.
everywhere.
Yes.
We all love
Cool.
barefootedness.
Nice. Okay, would you rather play only one composer for an entire year or only one type of piece, like only preludes, only sonatas, etc.?
Composer.
But could you do that as a duo? I mean, you'd have to pick a composer who has a lot of
Yeah.
flute and guitar rep.
Bach.
We could.
You could do Bach.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
what I was
all
Because you get really, it's like when you read a whole series of books from the one author, you get really into their
yeah,
mind,
you get to
and
make
then.
better.
So actually, it's probably a good idea. Maybe not for a full year, but you would become really proficient in their writing and interpretations and stuff.
Frank says he's amazing, 6'6" and barefoot and worth listening to. I'm 6'8", so you know, a fellow tall person. They've got to be a good musician then, because that makes sense. Okay.
Jacopo's like 0.6 feet.
Sorry,
tall.
Jacopo,
Like,
you
this is not very good.
the height's not there, so you're just not very good. You know. That's how it works.
Dwarf.
I'm a little Yoda.
You are, but you're not talking.
You're not that short, Jacopo. You're not that short. Okay.
Adore you.
Yes. Our collab will make so much sense. Okay. Would you rather?
Or collab.
Sorry.
Two really tall
Tall
people
and
and then.
short.
It's gonna be amazing.
One day we will play a concert together. One day.
Something about opposites or something, right?
I think one day when we play a concert together, we'll have to like do something all together and then bow with like me and Jessica on the sides and you two in between. So it's just like this, like, you know.
Perfect.
Okay. Anyhow, would you rather have a student with a bad attitude or bad flatulence?
Flatulence. No, wait.
I would rather have bad.
Is there a window in the room?
Bad attitude though.
Closed, sealed, no. There's
No
not-
windows,
not
and,
vent-
like-
there's no ventilation.
Yeah.
Can I have a cold that day?
No.
No.
Bad attitude for me.
No, I would still go with the flatulence. I would deal with it.
Thank you, Scott.
Scott says Jacopo is just as cool.
You're super cool. Yeah. You
That's
are.
true. Claire has a question, but I'm going to save Claire's question for after the Would You Rather.
Well, it is Ramiro! Ramiro!
What?
There's Ramiro! With 3 R's at the beginning of the...
What?
What's the name?
Mike was
Ramiro.
like, what are you talking about? Ramiro is on the call.
Ah, he's on Facebook.
Oh, he's on the stream. Ramiro Rubio? Like Ramiro from Carry On?
Yes.
Ah, hi Ramiro. Nice to see you. Okay, next, would you rather? Would you rather sight read a concerto, an entire concerto on you got entire concert. So you guys have a concert together, let's say, and you show up and you've never played any of the music and you have to sight read it? Or would you rather show up with your concert perfectly memorized and perform it perfectly, but one of you shits your pants very noticeably?
The first one.
Sight read it
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah, you can always improvise it. You know.
But like music you've never seen before. Sorry?
It's the audience.
If we
far away
haven't
from
seen
me?
it before, then the audience
No,
hasn't
like,
seen
the
it and.
audience hears and smells everything.
Yeah, like
improvise.
the second option, it's like everybody knows. Everybody
Like,
knows.
there's no, like the blind know, the deaf know.
Everybody knows, yeah.
Sight read. Sight read.
Sight read? Okay. But I mean,
I never shit my pants before, but like when I was like, how old would I have been? It's when I was so you know when you're in school, like I went to a Catholic primary school and we made the
I'm sorry to hear
sacraments. You'd, like, tell me about it. Oh, sorry, sorry, mum. Then so we had like confirmation, reconciliation. There was like the sacraments that you made,
Yeah.
and I had to make for one of them. I remember, basically we would get called up by the priest and we had to walk up. And then we got like a blessing and all of that stuff. But I was so nervous that I pissed my pants. And I was sitting in between my head teacher and my class teacher. And then all of the other kids in my class were all in the same pew. And basically, I know it was so bad. It was so bad. And I had a bottle of water and with me, thank God. And so what I did was I kind of spilt it on the bench to make it look as if that's what it was.
Smart, girl, that's
Smart,
smart.
nice. God was looking out for you.
But
Wait,
yeah.
well played. You just
Didn't know that. Yeah.
Very,
that's fine.
very smart. Okay.
Then my head teacher went up to my dad after and she was like, I think Kerry had a little accident.
Oh my goodness.
Too much
Okay.
pressure. Too much pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So why the hell did I get into this line of
I
work?
have no idea.
Would you rather play with a chamber partner who can't lead or follow rhythmically, or one that's completely dead in terms of dynamics and articulations? And which one is each of these people here? Between the two of you?
No, they're just no.
I'm just kidding.
The second one.
Right, say it one more time.
Okay, one that can't lead or follow is like very bad at being together, or one that has like really, really, really bad dynamics and like no dynamics and articulations, just like completely flat.
Oh no, that's not.
I mean the second one, because you can always kind of play around. You can play around the person.
Yeah. but it's hard if you're not
Like
together.
a
Yeah.
straight man in comedy.
If they're really dead, you can be really expressive, which will make you look good. So.
Right.
Be imbalanced.
Break up with them
Chamber
after.
music is all about looking good, right?
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna check where we're at. The outline, Piazzolla. Okay. Eve had a question. Where do you guys want to be in 10 years' time? What's the dream?
We're talking about going up the stairs the other day, I think. Talking about 10 years.
Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Alive.
Alive. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good answer.
Together.
Still loving what we do, because it's very important to love what you're doing.
Maybe more ballsy, like more going for it. Have traveled the world more.
Yeah.
When you can do that.
That's something we want to do.
Is it you guys? We're gonna do that.
Yes.
Yeah, loving what we do, going for as many opportunities as possible. Yeah. Thanks, Eve.
Those are good. Yeah. Nice. And on that note, let's listen to some of the most typical but most beautiful repertoire. Some Piazzolla. And also the Machado. Let's listen to both those. So, Cafe 1930, and then what's the Machado piece?
The Ped and Molek,
Okay.
I think it's called.
Cool.
It's the last one of the suite.
It's a choro, right?
I think it's like Samba Choro.
Ah, samba choro. Nice. Cool. Okay, Piazzolla and Machado. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Very nice. Beautiful recordings, both.
Thank
Sorry?
Oh, I just said beautiful recordings. Very nice. Cool. Okay. Well, the last part of our conversation, I'm wondering what challenges you have yet to overcome. What are the things you want to improve on?
Repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
And probably, I mean, we've been playing so far kind of mainstream repertoire, and we know most of the kind of the mainstream repertoire, but it would be good to explore all this repertoire that we don't know, so to actually research a bit more about the flute guitar repertoire that definitely is, it's wide, it's not that small, but maybe there is no, like, people maybe tend to play most of the known stuff, so trying to explore a bit more the unplayed and
Doing
works.
doing an album. That's
Yeah,
one that
that's,
we have to do.
Yep.
We've been talking a lot about an idea for that.
We are brainstorming.
Nice.
But that would definitely be one. The performing more, doing like big recitals, like
By memory. Recitals by
memory.
memory, that's another
that's
important
another
thing.
one.
Yeah, we are starting to memorize our program. Like we were starting to play some things by memory, like before COVID happened. But that was kind of like that's a goal on the horizon for us too. Is like trying to memorize our program because I just think playing from memory, like you just have more freedom. Like this thing, it's just
Yeah.
That's the thing. It looks better when you're
You don't have the
when you're
stand in front of you.
when you're in an audience, when you're watching someone. I think if they're doing their thing, which you can do if you've got a music stand in front of you, but you're more likely, I think, to just let it go when you're not having to.
I think you communicate better. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lee or Ang Lee is saying big thank you for hosting this and big thank you to JKL Do. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have people appreciating what we're doing and what you guys are doing. It's amazing. Which, by the way, on the topic of appreciating everybody, there is a link in the description to the PayPal, and if you make any one-time donations, they will go directly to the JKL Duo. So, for this show. So if you're enjoying it, please do that. You can also check out the Patreon. If you're a fan of the show and you watch like a bunch of episodes or whatever. And if you go to my channel, there are all the other episodes with other amazing guests as well. There's a lot of like cool people that I'm having on, so please check them out. Those sound like great goals, guys.
Yeah. No, we're gonna work our butts off.
For the next 10 years. So we are.
10 years in a year.
Exactly. That's the other nice thing. Like for us, like having a project together as partners, it is nice that like you kind of know. I mean, you never know if it's going to be happening all the time, the whole time you're together. But at the same time, like you know that there's a lot of you can do together over a long period of time. I think sometimes with chamber music, it can be hard if you're not sure if there's an end date or not with a project. Especially when you're in school and you're kind of working with people that like maybe you graduate and you move away and stuff. And it's not that those projects aren't worth doing because they're still totally worth doing. Like I used to have a duo with a guitarist in Vancouver named Joel Thompson, and that guitar duo will always be like something I remember really fondly. And when we're in the same city again, we've even done a few concerts when I've been back there, kind of thing. And like I never want that to go away, but it's just kind of like it's nice with Jessica, for example, that I know going forward we're going to be in the same place, and you have so many years ahead to try all these different things you want to do, and like you guys are doing the video series, you want to do a CD, like there's so many opportunities,
Yeah.
But that's amazing. Cool. I guess we should do the lightning round before we wrap up. So you guys know how a lightning round works?
What do we need to do?
I give you two options and you have to answer like instinctively.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can answer at the same time or separately. Okay, cats or dogs?
Cats.
No, cats.
Dogs.
Dog.
Wait, you're both
dogs.
saying. Wait, why didn't you said dogs both instead of cats?
I think we both got nervous and then
Okay.
going for it. Dogs.
Dogs.
Well, it's good you have the same one. Piazzolla or Machado?
Piazzolla.
Piazzolla.
Italy or Scotland?
Italy.
Italy or Scotland?
Italy.
Oh,
Spello.
Italy.
Spello, Rome.
Italy.
You're both like Italy. Wow, okay. Oh, Kerry.
Really?
Scarlatti or Bach?
Scarlatti.
Bach.
Oh, interesting. Our first disagreement. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate. Hey!
Melody or accompaniment?
Melody.
You both want the melody. Nice. Mammals or reptiles?
Mammals.
Mammals.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Wine. White wine.
Okay. Claudio Abbado or Herbert von Karajan?
Bado. Let's keep it Italian.
Wait, isn't he? Oh, yeah, he's. Yeah, you're right. But it might be French for some reason. Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Pasta.
Oh, boy. And you guys cook together. Liszt or Chopin?
List.
Chopin.
Ooh. So Kerry's the virtuoso and Jacopo's the sensitive one.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. Your rehearsal or recording?
Recording.
Recording.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Free stroke or rest stroke? Oh, wait, sorry, this is a guitar one. Never mind. Ignore that one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, nice. Whiskey or gin?
Whiskey.
Pink gin.
Pink gin. Ooh, pink gin is good, actually. We just got like a rhubarb and ginger gin. So nice. Yeah, so tasty. Debussy or Ravel?
Debussy.
Oh, nice. Okay. Have you guys played any Debussy?
Yes.
Which one?
Well, me.
Yes. No, for guitar,
There's
no.
Syrinx?
Syrinx.
Ah,
Yeah, exactly.
I love that piece.
I heard that for some stuff during COVID. Yeah, and there's a project I'm actually going to do with a pianist and a singer in Glasgow, and we're going to do a whole bunch of Debussy stuff, so it's going to be good.
Beautiful. Wonderful. We've done Bonsoir together. There's some arrangements by Tilman Hopstock for voice and guitar. You could probably do them with flute and guitar, actually.
Yeah.
They're really nice. He has a whole book of Fauré and a whole book of Debussy.
French bombs.
Or I could do Syrinx in the program as well.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are already planning a program.
Yeah, he is great.
Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Jacopo?
Dinner.
South Park or The Simpsons?
Simpson.
I never watched South Park.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to grow up in a religious.
I
Awesome.
was not either, but I watched it. I caught up when I was older. So
But The Simpsons I did watch, and I liked it.
nice. Awesome. Oh, this is also guitar. Matthew McAllister or Alan Neve?
Well, they both play.
Commenting on that one. Don't say anything. Move on.
We love them. We love them both.
We love them both. Okay, very, very good answer.
They've been both supportive. Like we had lessons with both, and they really helped us. Matthew, like in RCS, Alan more in Carry On, because the year that Matthew was supposed to come to Carry On, Alan came.
Yes, he was
So
amazing.
we got the chance to know Alan more as a teacher within the duo, knowing that both played with flutists, so they both have experience playing in a flute and guitar duo. So both.
Yeah. Alan, he used to play in the duo with my flute teacher.
Ah, cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
it's really nice.
Yeah, we found him super helpful. Like, I think he's one of those guitarists who's also knowledgeable about music in general, like very knowledgeable, and that really helps. Like, I don't know, when we played for him, he was able to give like just as useful comments for both of us, which is really good. Yeah, awesome. All right, well I didn't get you to choose, so oh well. Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Sweet.
Tremolo or scales? I guess it's another guitar one. What do you prefer actually hearing, Kerry? Tremolo or scales?
Tremolo.
Tremolo, yeah. Tremolo's cool.
Concert or masterclass if you're the one giving it?
If you're the one giving it,
Yes.
Concert.
giving the masterclass.
Concerts.
Oh, we'd be cool to
Concerts.
give it though.
Concerts.
Concert. Jacopo wants the stage. Nice. Okay, restoration of the composer's intention or personal interpretation?
That's a
Personal
good question. That's a good
It should be a balance, but the personal interpretation is important. Like you always listen to. You need to give your contribute
Yeah.
to the.
But
You
then
can just imitate. Like you need to bring alive the music from your own experience as a person.
so that's both actually, because if you're, you know, if
But you do need to be knowledgeable about what's going on.
Yeah.
You can just it cannot be too arbitrary, but you do need to be there as a musician, as a creative mind behind. You can just be too objective. There has to be your subjectivity.
Yes.
With that one, it's like, you know, if you're playing something and it's sad or whatever, you're gonna always need to connect that with something sad that you've had too. So in a way, you can combine both of those together, and it's perfect.
This is not part of the rules, Kerry, but you're right. But you're correct. Screw the rules, right? It's fine. Mountains or beaches?
Beaches. Oh God, remember when we got stuck on the mountain?
We got stuck on the mountain.
Story time?
Beaches.
Do you want to do story
Yes,
time?
yeah, for sure.
Can I tell someone?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so basically for Jacopo's parents bought us an Airbnb in the Amalfi Coast, and when was it? Last-
2 years ago.
Because my birthday and Jacopo's birthday are a month
That's 2 years
apart,
ago.
and we were in Rome at the period anyway, so they bought us this trip. So we drove from Rome to Amalfi. The Airbnb was in a place called Agerola, which is really near Amalfi, but it's not as expensive because it's not on the main coast. So
Yeah.
so people go there. So we had a little house. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, so there was like all these pumpkin fields, and then there was this house, and it was like an apartment in the bottom and the top, and this woman and her old father lived in the top one, and then there was us in the bottom. So we got there and everyone seemed really nice, and it was totally fine. Then there was one of the days we decided to go on a hike.
The last day.
We decided to go on a hike down the mountain of where we were. It was stupid. It was like
To reach the beach at the bottom.
Yeah, because there was a beach in the bottom.
We were like, if we go down at 5 p.m., then we can reach the beach by 7, and then there's a nice
And we had it all
atmosphere.
planned. Now we had like no money. I didn't have a phone. I was wearing friggin' flip flops.
You didn't
okay?
wear. You
And
didn't
we had
bring a phone.
Yeah, it was a night. We were just out walking and we saw this hiking trail. We were like, oh, that's gonna be cool. So
You
basically,
can just follow this.
we started going down it. And the sun was still up and it was fine, but there was these rocks and it was really difficult to navigate. Like there was like really big things that you had to go down, and it was just. But anyway, we started going and going and going, and there was like no beach to be found. And at some point, actually, loads of people passed us that were coming back from the beach, and so we were like, it's just gonna be here. But we obviously took a wrong turn, and there was some part of the journey which was like complete jungle. So we were like in the middle of all these vines, and we were going through it. It was nuts. But anyway, it became nighttime, and we were still on the friggin' mountain, no beach. We were completely screwed.
So we saw the beach going down, then we passed it to the left.
Which I don't know how
Then we
we
can
did
go
it.
into the left, so
I
we're
don't
kind
know
of
how
like
we did
turning
it.
the mountain, and we'll pass the beach on the.
So it got
The other side.
to this point.
But
By
we
the
didn't go
way,
down.
it got to this point where we're basically on the mountain looking at the moon, completely screwed because we didn't know what to do. So we're panicking, freaking out. He's like, it was really, really, really horrible.
So mountains or beaches? I guess beaches are better than mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, what a bonding experience! Very nice.
Well, yeah, but then with that one, like we found like somehow we basically resigned ourselves to the fact that we were like screwed, and then we found this little candle that was battery powered, and it had Padre Pio's face on it. He's an Italian saint, which was like really random. And then as soon as we found that, we found this little, basically it was a way in to
Another village.
village that was like in the cave or whatever. So we actually, and then we found a bus. So we got on the bus, we hitchhiked. Then we ended up we journeyed.
We basically 1 kilometer from Amalfi, stopping into a bar, calling from the telephone, from the bar's telephone, like my dad, who called the owners of the apartment, who came to get us. And then we went back to the apartment, and then we woke up at 4 a.m.
No. So when the woman came and picked us up, the woman who owned the apartment, and basically I think we had such a trauma from being like stuck and thinking that we were gonna die, and we were, whatever.
A little
The woman came and just a bit. So the woman came and picked us up, and she was driving us home, and we were kind of like listening to everything that she said, and we're twisting it in such a way that made her seem really sinister. So we were freaking out, and things like she said, you guys are checking out tomorrow, but you can sleep in a bit later if you want. We were interpreting that as fuck, she's gonna kill us in our sleep. So we started freaking out, right? And then we get back to the house. We go to bed. I wake up I was like in the middle of the night, and I woke up and Jacopo wasn't in the bed next to me, and I was like, what the? I woke up because I'd had a dream that me and my partner were getting murdered. And basically I woke up and I was like, where's Jacopo? Jacopo's in the living room like this. And I'm like, Jacopo, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, nothing, what's up? And I was like, I just had a dream that I was getting murdered. And he was like, me too, we're out of here. So basically we both had to flee in the middle of the night thinking that they were going to get us, and we threw all our stuff in the bag, and we crept out the door, and then when we went to the car outside, they had put their car basically blocking us. So we thought, oh my god, it's a plan. They're trying to lock us in. And then we got in the car, and it was like, argh! And then we drove all the way back to Rome. But it was mental.
Oh my god. That's the best story I've ever heard. And they were
They were fine. They were absolutely fine, but it was just us
freaking out, lack of, I don't know, drinking water or something.
So yeah.
Amazing.
So beaches are mountains. Neither.
Neither. City, I don't know. Oh man. Alrighty, well, on that note, do you guys have anything else you want to share with the audience or say anything? Or does any of the audience have anything they want, last-minute questions or things they want to say or ask before we wrap up here?
There's a seagull outside of my window.
It's a Glasgow.
Sorry. No, I think we covered a lot. That was really cool.
I think so, too,
Enjoyed that.
You guys are wonderful to have on. Very easy guests.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really, really happy that we met you guys, that we chose to come to Carry On.
Yeah, no, me too. You and Jess are...
Thanks.
I'm so excited to get married.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. And I'm excited for when we get to see you guys in person, hopefully soon.
For sure.
Once travel's allowed. I wanted to come for the big guitar weekend thing, but then it just didn't work out. Although now I'm done school and I'm not paying international tuition, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to go to festivals and, do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of the plan now that we're staying in Europe. Yes.
By the way, do we have the same glasses?
Possibly?
They look like the same, here, guardate. Di cheap ones.
Mine have two little dots.
My dad's ones are like yours, and
oh, nice.
Yeah,
I got these from Zenny Optical. It's like the cheap frames made in China, I think.
These are the same.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, guys, it's been a pleasure. We're going to finish the episode. Oh, I should make some announcements. Sorry, really quickly. So, everybody, I put a post out earlier today with the July roster. So, I'll just really quickly recap it here. This week, this isn't the most streams I'm going to do in 1 week. It just worked out that way. And then I'm going down to, less after this because COVID's kind of, getting sort of back to normal life. I want to focus on other projects a little more. But tomorrow, the 1st, Canada Day, I have Patrick Kearney coming on, who's a great guitarist from Montreal. He's releasing a new album called Novae, with some new commissioned works and some other things. So it's like his album release party stream. And we'll be joined by one of the composers who wrote music on his album, etc. It's going to be really cool. So that's tomorrow night. And then on Friday, I have Elke Prinsier, who's an amazing Belgian guitarist, and she's based in Groningen right now in the Netherlands. But she's quite involved with the Dutch Guitar Foundation. And she's, just a really great performer, player, person. And she did her master's research, which she just presented on injury prevention. So she's going to talk about injury prevention. Very important topic, actually. So that's Friday, and she's a lot of fun too. So then on the 10th, I have Ahmed Dickinson, who is a guitarist based in London, and he has a new chamber music CD that he's promoting. That he's going to talk about. I think it might be with flute, actually. I'm not certain. I need to check. And then I have Simon Farintosh on the 17th. He's a great young Canadian player, good friend of mine. Stephen Lochbaum, who's also Canadian but teaches in the U.S. on the 24th. And then ending the month with Ben Diamond, who is, always the first one in the chat commenting. And Ben is running a new series in Newfoundland called the Atlantic Guitar Society, which is, I think, their first year in existence, and they're doing some cool stuff even during COVID. So he's going to come on and talk about that, and also his own recordings and stuff. So I've got a cool season coming up, so stay tuned for that. And I want to give a quick thank you to my 2 patrons. You guys are amazing. It's, helps keep the show going. Every little bit helps every month. So thank you to Joanna and Mitchell, and then Michelle. Thank you guys. And we're going to finish the show with you guys playing some... What's the Forêt, Pavan? So,
Graveyard.
do you want to talk about this piece, this recording?
There's a Necropolis graveyard, also really near here, and it's really cool. There's really old mausoleums, and we went there and we recorded it. I don't know if that's kind of sacrilegious doing that on gravestones, but we did, and that was that one.
And so I haven't heard this Pavan, I don't think.
You haven't heard it?
No, I'm not sure. Like, it's originally for...
I think it's for
orchestra.
orchestra and then choir as well, because there is also a version with the choir.
Okay, cool.
It's a really, really famous one.
Who made the arrangement?
For this,
I think we found the line.
Okay.
and then we just kind of
Adjusted it, yeah.
did.
Cool. Okay, Forêt Pavan. And thank you guys so much both for coming on. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
This is like,
Thank you,
it's
Ma-
really nice to have not just a guitarist on, sorry Jacopo, but to have a chamber ensemble. Like, it's really nice to have this kind of
I'm
discussion.
excited.
Yeah. Because we all love chamber music, and it's nice to get a perspective that's not just a guitar perspective, for sure. So, thank you both. Okay, let's listen to some Forêt, and then the show will finish. And thank you everyone who watched. You're amazing.
Ciao.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
If you missed any of the show, it'll be on my YouTube channel later. If you just search Michael Ibsen on YouTube. Michael Ibsen guitar. There's a Michael Ibsen who is related to King Richard III, apparently. And there's like some BBC like news stories about. It's really dumb. It's like just this person who's like, I'm related to this royal person. That's like basically the news story. Anyways, but yeah. So search Michael Ibsen guitar, and you'll find me instead. Okay, let's listen to some Forêt.